Well, I understand. What has happened? I think we just went live, like it errored out, and then we're just live.
We just went live.
Should I play the intro music, or are we just fucking doing this? Like,
it looks like we're just doing this.
It looks like we're just doing this. That's cool. I've never had
that
before. We're professionals here. Hey guys, it's Danger with the Whiskey Rebellion. How the hell are y'all doing? Happy Monday. It is good to see everybody back together again. I enjoy being here and doing this shit, even if it's just for us. So I'm gonna drink to us. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy belated birthday to Mr. Jody there. He had his birthday last week, I guess 28th.
That's correct. It was the 28th.
There you go.
You're 28 now, Jody.
Yeah, and,
you're getting old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mr. 5.0 over there.
I was about to say, are you?
I don't run like a 5.0 anymore. And I'm
welcome to the half century club.
I'm still dealing with parts of the remnants of the flu that I got as soon as I got home from the trip. So, but yeah, I'm doing fine. I feel old, but I did have a great pedicure today. So
yeah,
and it was my first one ever. And I tell you what, you walk in there.
That's why I'm drinking.
And all those women are, they're all Asian, they're all Vietnamese. I asked them, because I'm like, if you're gonna, she had a mask on and like the big bulletproof glasses, and I'm like this is probably gonna be bad. Probably gonna be bad for you.
You might need a little, like the glasses you wear at the shooting range, like some
no, these were much from these
like
were much
flying toenails.
They were much bigger. My toenails wasn't all that bad. It's the fact that I have some deformities in my feet because of injuries and stuff. Like my left foot is kind of janky looking because it went through an engine cavity. What is that noise? Y'all hear that?
Rob, you gotta mute yourself when you're not talking, sir. We already know it's you.
The noise disappears.
You know what?
Love you, man, but
I'm sitting right under my furnace vent, and it's probably just blows right down on me.
Yeah. If one day we'll get you a better microphone. There's a thing called a gain meter. You can turn that down so it doesn't pick up every little tiny ticking sound. But anyway. Go ahead with your story, Jody. You're talking.
So anyway, yeah. So she had on like these bulletproof glasses. They were like, have you guys seen like those people who are like really blind and they have those thick glasses? They was kind of like that, and I was like, well, you're gonna be able to see the jankiness of my feet. But anyway, they broke out the cheese grater, graded up the feet really good. They feel smooth as fuck now, though, man. I love it. Still feel like hell from the flu, but I had a great time. It was fun. And there are some pictures out there that someone took of me.
Evidence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She already sent them to freaking Preston, and Preston responded. And Preston responded back with zesty. But anyway, so we got it real quick. I'm gonna steal the show for just a second. I'm having some HK Young. Obviously, I got this for my birthday from my buddy Steven. This is supposed to be allocated, I believe it. It's supposed to be sourced from Bardstown. On the nose, it definitely has a lot of oaky, toasted, marshmallow, maybe a little nutmeg, maybe on the nose. But it's a 6-year. It's barrel strength. It's 114.4 proof, and we're not sure if it's what was it, pancreas or pancreas. Yeah. Either way, that's going to be filtered by the pancreas at some point. But I'm looking to try it. So I'm gonna have a little.
There you go.
Give you guys
know what you think.
Nice.
It drinks hotter than a 114. Wow. All right. So, wow, that's got a berry taste to it, like some type of dried fruit. That's kind of bitter, but I like it. All right, but on the finish, it has. It's first of all, the finish is long. It is still trickling back down through the tongue and all that, and it is just sounds like a sex show I'm talking about, but I'm not. But it's wow, it is
started with feet, and now we're into things trickling down your throat. It's cool, man.
And my son called me zesty, so we're there.
You know what? It's all the way around.
So, but anyway, no, it has. So it definitely has a lot of heat up front, and I did let it sit out for about 10 minutes. I've been letting it sit out right here, so it's been sitting out for a while. The notes are really it's got a huge amount of vanilla and caramel in it. That's kind of what it kind of finishes like a Red Hot, if that makes any sense. Remember the big jawbreaker Red Hot back in the day?
Yeah.
I got a funny story about that. So one time this was back when I was married to that woman that David.
Right. That you're married to.
Yep. So I had to pick up her grandma, and her grandma was riding with me in my I don't remember what vehicle. I was probably in my truck at one of my other trucks. And she just talks and talks and talks and talks. And here's what's funny is she's actually still alive. I asked Jordan this weekend about her. I was like, is your grandma? And he's like, yeah, she's like, she turned 99 this year on my birthday. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
I think it's awesome too. And by the way, she's
makes it the distance. Like
and she's a lovely woman. So I don't want to make it sound like that, but she does. Like when she gets to talk, like if you're in her group or not, or if you're just a person, maybe she likes to talk. And so we're driving down the road and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, she can get mad at me if I put a chew in. So I'm just going to put a Red Hot in. It was one of those big jawbreaker ones. Mm-hmm. And I'm driving down the road and I'm sitting there, I'm trying to, you're not supposed to try to break it with your teeth, but I was because that's how I am. That motherfucker slid back and got stuck in my throat. And here I am trying to drive down this old country road, choking to death. And she doesn't know it. And I'm like, oh my God, I am going to die. Just like that. And she's asking me questions. And I'm like, whoo. And,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it has a lot of that, a lot of vanillas, a lot of caramel, but it has a lot of, I can't wait to try it with ice here, man. So I have my ice heat up over here.
Open it up a little bit, yeah.
And this is actually a rose. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's actually a rose.
It's a little hard to tell, but you can tell it's some kind of shape.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to it. But anyway, it's a rose. But anyway, but yeah.
So it isn't clear, Jody.
What's that?
It ain't clear ice, Jody.
No, it's
if you summon him, then I'm just saying.
I make ice like like the Lord made my feet.
I didn't say the name, David. I just said clear ice.
I know. You said the name.
Okay, so you can't say it another time because then he's going to show up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
3 times the
problem. Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is a fucking hilarious story. First of all, and yeah, I'm glad you didn't choke to death on a. What do they call them? They don't call them Red Hots. They call them something else.
They're like
fireballs or
jawbreakers.
Cinnamon jawbreakers, or cinnamon fire. I don't know, but anyway, I just know that I was sitting there. I was like, whoo, like that, because I couldn't make any other sounds. I like, as long as there's still air going through there, I can drive us to where we're going. And I'm just like hoping it's just gonna melt right there in the middle of my throat, And it's just not. And I'm like, I'm trying to get it to do anything. I'm trying to give myself kind of like a punching. Heimlich and stuff. And she never got onto it. She was just asking me questions. She's like, you okay, Jody? I'm like, whoo.
So I say you could say a response.
Oh, Lord.
And she's like, I don't understand. I'm like, whoo.
I swear to God, Jody needs his own film crew just to follow him around.
Exactly.
The one that needs a film crew, and I don't know why he didn't do it. He should have started a Facebook page like is Preston. What would Preston say? That guy says some of the most absurd shit. Like, for example, his girlfriend came over yesterday. It was the first time that she's been to my house. And I have met her and I've had dinner with her before with him and stuff like that. But she came over and she was like, I didn't know, Preston, why didn't you tell me you had mini donkeys? She was super excited. I got a bunch of pictures of I only got 2 pictures of her, but I got pictures of her out there, and she was out there forever feeding the donkeys and giving them treats and this, that, and whatever. And I'm sitting there and she's just giving Preston the freaking hell about it. Like, why wouldn't you tell anybody? And Preston's response, which was classic Preston, he's like, they're in the front yard.
Like you can see them. Like it's not like I was hiding them from you.
Well, I think he's trying to go. I think what he was really getting at is in Franklin, you can't have donkeys in the front yard.
Like he's embarrassed that it's not, Franklinite people.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But it is what it is. But no, it was a good time.
Figure it out.
It was a good time. But Preston, man, he says, like, I'll never forget one time he was talking. This was many years ago. He was talking he was probably barely 10. So it was at least 8 years ago. And I wish I had the text message, but that all three boys were in the car with Tamara, and they were doing something. I don't know what they're doing. I was at drill, and she sent me a message. She said, "You know what your son said?" I'm like, "There's no telling." It's like I don't remember exactly how it went, but he's like, "I can hold my breath without blinking my eyes." And I'm like, "Oh my Lord!" And then later he's like, "I wonder if they make golden toilet paper." Like none of this had any follow through with what they were doing, right?
It's like a young Jack Handy, you know, the deep thoughts with Jack Handy.
Oh, that's exactly how I respond. I was like deep thoughts with Preston Lamons. And dude, every time he gets something, because he can't eat unless, I mean, he eats and then he eats like this. Like I just made dinner, so that was his first meal for first dinner tonight. He'll have a dinner too here in a little bit.
Yeah, dinner too.
Yeah, and it's like every time he goes up there, he's fighting with the fucking microwave. And I'm like, dude, be kind to the microwave. Like, why do you have to, like, did the microwave piss you off? Like, why are you beating it up? Like, and what I mean by he's like, opens it up, shuts it, you know? And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just microwaving some food, Dad. I'm like, okay, but did you have to slam it? I mean,
can you do that without a salt?
So let me stop you guys for a second. So I'm glad you said that because I thought I was the only one who had a child that did that kind of thing. I could hear.
I got another one for you too, Michelle.
I could hear the girl. I could
choose louder than anybody I've ever been around in my life.
Oh God! So okay, I can hear this kid slamming the microwave if I'm upstairs, and I was like, "What are you doing? Like, are you trying to rip the thing down or what?" So it's like a real thing with teenagers.
I know. And then and every time he goes to look in the refrigerator, he has to open it up and he's like, and I'm like, don't lean on the refrigerator. He goes, I'm not, Dad. I'm like, you are. You are leaning on the refrigerator. Don't lean on the refrigerator. I had to put a 10 o'clock rule in the house, though. There's no food after 10 o'clock. No food you can make. How about that? Because
Rob,
kitchen's closed. Kitchen's closed at 10 o'clock. I feel that.
Yes, sir.
Me and Rob are standing down in the kitchen waiting for Jody's son, and it's like 9:58.
Here he comes.
That dude, I'm telling you, man.
I have a fun story, little mini story, regarding teenage kids. So I walk in the kitchen the other day and I see in the top of the trash can's open, there is a container of orange juice, and it's got probably like 3/4 of a glass of orange juice left in the container, but it's in the trash. And you know what I am and who I am, right?
You're the trash can.
And so Owen's over there, and I'm like, I just pick it up. I don't really shout about it or anything, but I pick it up and I hold it and I shake what's in the bottom, because that's like what I pour for myself in the morning before I go to work, is like what's in this container. I'm like, why'd you throw it away? He goes, it's empty. And I'm like, no, this and I told him, this is like what I pour myself. So anyway, fast forward a couple of days later, we go to the grocery store together, and we go buying groceries, and he sees that I picked up just a few things, and boom, the bill's it's $50 at checkout, right, for just the little bit of whatever that we had to pick up. And he's like, it's $50 for just this little amount. I was like, do you see why I took that thing of orange juice out of the garbage can? Like, do you understand? You have about $3 in there, like.
Well, that's that syndrome.
And he's like, man, it's really expensive. How much? Just wait till you pay for your own stuff.
They live rent free in the house. They don't pay for shit.
Well, it's just like when Preston, he's getting ready to go to Belmont, and I was just there the other day. I was getting class stuff ready for summertime, and I was like, I'm gonna have to buy him one of those unlimited passes at the restaurant there, or at the cafeteria. Which is really great food. I will be honest with you. It's probably some of the definitely when they're getting ready to do new contracts every time. They have the best food ever there, but it's really good. I love their salads there. But anyway, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, he can't just be on like a meal plan. He has to be on unlimited, because he eats all the damn time.
Yeah, you'll save yourself money on that, like in the long run.
First of all, why am I saving myself money? Like,
well, you know what I mean.
He should freaking have to. If he wants extra,
do something. No, I hear you.
I mean, it's just like right now, I pay for his school plan. At like he has, I don't know what it's called, but they have like lunch cards or something that I pay for. It's literally every time I turn around, I get this notice. It says, and I'm like, my favorite was when he went back to school after the winter break, and it was full. On day 2, he sends me a message, or not? He didn't send me. They sent me a message. Said his what's it called for? His lunch account was low. I'm like, you 2 days into this. Like, what are you doing? Hold on, I'll tell you what it's called. My School Bucks is what it's called.
My School Bucks.
Yeah.
All right.
He's eating 2 and 3 meals at lunch instead of 1.
Dude, he eats all the time. And when fortunately I have my neighbor brings me eggs because he can eat. I watched him when him and Jacob were here. They took 20 eggs and they ate them all. He had 12 of the 20.
That's a lot of fucking eggs.
That's what I said. He's like, well, I'm a growing boy. I'm like, just understand, the bigger you get, I'm going to be able to articulate more and more about shooting you if I have to.
Oh, man.
It's hilarious. My grandfather said that to me when I was a teenager. He was too old to fight and he'd just shoot me.
Well, it's like I've lost a lot of weight now. I'm down to I'm not going to tell you my weight, but I've lost almost 50 pounds in the last 4 months or last 5 months.
Trying to, or are you just losing?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I am trying to, but I've changed my workout routine. I stopped. I have to give it up, man. That last surgery was pretty rough, and I'm getting tired of. I mean, that was number 16, and I still have 2 more out there. And one of them, back to our topic tonight, one of them with my foot. I have to have surgery on. So I mean, I got at least 2 more surgeries out there that are tentatively scheduled. And I'm just tired of it. So I just decided to just work out just to stay aesthetically nice for my significant other.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so let's move around. What's everybody drinking tonight?
Yeah, so Jody already did his. I'll go ahead and do mine because it came from Jody. I am drinking tonight the Angostura Caribbean rum. This is a rum from Trinidad, I believe. And I'm really glad that Mark is not here for me to not speak highly of this product because I am not so sure I care for it either. Which I'm sure I have it because Jody didn't care for it that much. And I'm normally happy with pretty much anything that he doesn't care for.
I mean, you're the trash panda.
I am the trash panda. I am still drinking it. I did go for a second pour when I said I wouldn't when I first tried it. But like it does like it's a funky kind of a rum. It does like the heavy sort of aromas, and you get like a lot of like clove and something. I don't know, but it's a little bit heavy and funky. The tasting notes that they put on the back of this, I have not discovered at all. They're talking about notes of chocolate, coffee, spices, and toffee. Maybe a little bit of toffee.
I think there's a lot of coffee in it. I can taste the coffee because it's the bitterness of it, where I'm expecting a rum to be really sweet.
Yeah, I'm expecting more like the caramels and vanillas to go with like the fruits and stuff. But it's like this. I get like maybe banana and clove and maybe some toffee. And it's just a little too funky. Maybe the age of it is at fault here. If it was older, if it was aged a little bit better, I might have been more into it. It's not. I don't love it. This is not something I would necessarily recommend to people, especially if they were like new and like, ooh, I want to try Caribbean rums. I would probably steer them well away from anything like that.
Actually, today I was at I went and stopped by the liquor store. That's where I got this bottle of the weeded.
Is that Bardstown?
Yeah, it's a weeded bottle. I didn't realize it's 106 proof, which is cool. I dig that. But that's where I picked it up today, and also a bottle of wine. But anyway, and I don't know. But anyway, they had over there next to Tito's off of Berry Farms. They had some nice rums. I came real close to buying another rum. They had Zacapa 27, 23. I was
about to say 27. Shit.
No, it's 23.
Yeah, 23 is good.
Which is, in my opinion, the best rum out there outside of Mount Gay. The Zacapa is great.
Gino, what's he drinking, brother?
Gino is having some of the Four Roses single barrel. This is the OBSF blend. Wasn't really expecting what it was. It's not your typical Four Roses.
I have a bottle right here too, which I was going to open tonight, but I seen you had it, and I was like, I'm just going to try the HK Young.
I've actually I dropped an ice cube in here, and it's mellowed it out a little bit, and it's opening it up more. On the nose, I mean, you got a little bit of chocolate. I get like an orange marmalade on the nose, and that follows through on the palate. But on the palate, I also get mint, and it's got a very oily, almost machine oily.
Machine oil. That's one
mouthfeel.
of my favorites.
The first, before I put the ice has mellowed that out a bit, the oiliness.
You talking about the mouthfeel of it?
The mouthfeel was like machine oil when I had it just straight up and neat.
You know, it's funny you say that because my favorite Horse Soldier, which is the barrel strength silver bottle, and it's gone.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And I just happen to have it here because the reason why I have it here is for two reasons. One, I forgot to take my trash out over here. And then two, I do save certain bottles that I want to try to find. It's hard to find this one. But one of the things I love about, you were talking about oily taste or oily note. I swear to Christ, I've said this. David was here when I first got it. I said it since then. My favorite thing about it, it takes me back to my grandfather's workshop when he was drinking, or not drinking, he was doing that probably too, but when he was on vehicles and stuff, it has a very
smells.
Yes, it takes, like I can see myself there. It's a visual smell, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
smells are incredibly
I get you on
powerful.
that. Yeah.
They talk about that like in like psychology and stuff. It helps really strong with memory. That's why they say that if you go to a job interview, don't wear like cologne or anything like that, because it might remind the person who's interviewing you of like an ex or something.
Just comes,
and be like, oh, that's just like that person, and then you're out, kind of thing.
But
anyway, go ahead.
The ice has tended to mellow out that oiliness, because, like I said, it was like Jody was describing, a workshop. That machine oil smell kind of converted into a flavor is what I got
like a freaking
right off the bat. The orange marmalade is there, and it comes on with mint, and the mint carries right on through to the finish with some nice peppery finish. The finish is excellent, but that mint is like, oh, we're coming down the road, and all of a sudden, hey, there we go, down this path. It's just something totally unexpected. But drop the ice cube in it. Maybe it's because I've had several pours of it here now, but it's starting to warm up.
I try to try things straight. If it's first. And by the way, the RK Young is definitely on fire. It's a good one, and I much appreciate Steven getting that for me for my birthday. But I prefer all of my drinks with ice in it. And the reason why is I love some of the notes that are opened up with it. Like you open it up and you have these new flavors that are, I know you're proofing it down a little bit. You're taking some of the proof out of it, but I'm also not trying to get hammered ass drunk. I mean, that's not my go. I mean, that's not the whole idea of the show.
Still mostly whiskey. I mean, you're doing all right. Like,
well, I mean, but putting soda in it.
Yeah. Well, the ice in here, it toned down that oiliness, the oily mouthfeel, and that machine oil flavor. And it seemed to me it kind of accentuated the orange marmalade and really brought the mint out major. Especially, like I said, it carries right on through into the finish for me.
Nice. All right. Chef, talk to us. Tell us what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, since I haven't been able to get any of the Penelope Havana, the rum and maple finish one, I am doing some Starlight, Huber's Starlight rum barrel finish.
Okay.
I was going to go with the Angel's Envy because I came home from work and kind of started my afternoon off with some Dark and Stormies with some Bruegel 1888. So kind of
what's the Dark and Stormy? I don't know what that is. Can you tell me? I mean, I know we have Billy here, but can you tell me what it is?
So it's lime juice. I use half ounce lime juice, half ounce of a brown sugar simple syrup, 2 ounces of rum, and then top a Collins glass off with ginger beer.
If anybody picked up that recipe, I'm impressed with that.
Hey, I was paying attention. I got it all.
Oh man.
So I decided to crack this one and kind of do some bourbon tonight.
Yes, indeed, Chuck. Yes, indeed. Thank you for watching, man.
So this has a you definitely the rum definitely comes through in the in the smell and in the initial taste. No, he can't.
Billy can't control himself now. Also factual. Also, thank you for joining us, Jen. Oh my God.
It's definitely got
what I said was wrong. I don't understand.
Brown sugars and the caramels and the vanillas and some oakiness. It's definitely got a medium long finish on it too, and it's 112.7. So it's got a nice little heat to it. Nothing big.
Yeah.
All right. So I came across something today, and I really almost bought it because it's allocated. I didn't know this, but Nashville Bourbon Barrel, I think that's what it's called. The one I gave you, David, that Nashville, or no, Davidson's Reserve. That's what it's called. Davidson's Reserve. They have a honey cast. Are you sending me stuff?
I'm not sending you anything.
Why are you laughing then?
I'm not. I'm just laughing. Don't worry about it.
Listen, I couldn't
just
tell
cheesing for no reason. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I couldn't tell if Jody was insulting me or if he was flirting with me.
He does a little bit of both at the same time.
A little bit of both.
He likes a little slap and tickle.
Real quick. You know, I was watching some YouTube shorts earlier today, and the funniest thing that came out was there is of course I follow everybody, you know, it's cool. And this Canadian was out there shoveling snow, and he said first day of February, 12 inches of snow. Well played, Black History Month. Well played.
Oh my God.
I about fell off the shitter when I came out. I would have sent it to you, Billy, but you didn't really laugh at the last one I sent you. You kind of looked at me like you looked at me like I was kind of racist in my last one I sent you. So
listen, I don't reply to them like that, but I laugh at them hilariously. I actually save a lot of them, believe it or not.
Yep.
Because they're funny.
You were on a streak the last couple of days, man. You just been blowing everybody up.
Well, it's because I'm not on social media, but sometimes when I find stuff that's funny, I gotta unload it.
I actually sent you one, Jody, on Instagram.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
I blew my own mind with that. I was like, I'm gonna send him funny shit and hope the fuck I don't get nothing political back in return.
You got nothing political back. Actually, what I sent back to you was I sent you one back that says you are gay. I mean, real quick, it was shared because Steven had sent me you are gay. And then he sent it to me again today too when I was getting my pedicure. He's like,
I got a bunch of messages now. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so I got 4 messages.
Okay, so
that's what happens. Anyway, by the way, Billy, what are you drinking? First of all, I don't think anybody asked you.
In a second, but full disclosure, me and the wife, we go get hands and feet done every 2 weeks religiously. So
I'm on that schedule right now.
Hey, when you work on them, man, you know
it's good hygiene, believe it or not.
I believe that.
It feels so good. And on top of that, I want them to like work themselves off the power tools and be able to get down to like what they do normal people's feet with.
Right. When they see you and they pull out the belt sander.
Yeah. See, cancel all the other appointments.
when I sit down, I swear to Christ, I swear to
that rasp file out there, man.
Dude, I have a witness to this, and I swear to Christ, when I sat down, the lady, she doesn't know very much English, but she was like, "Hold on, I get my chainsaw." I was like, "You motherfucker."
So I will say this: once you get on the schedule, it just becomes regular upkeep, you know. So it's a good thing. So tonight I am just simply having some Woodford Reserve, taking it easy. I'm back to drinking on a regular basis, smoking. So the other day,
there you go.
I had to fire up the pit like maybe about 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to fire up the pit, and long and behold, I fired up the pit, put everything on. Not 5 minutes later, I was drinking and smoking. I was like, "This is the life."
You know,
this is the life. nobody around, me and the frogs, completely dark, whatever. Let it rip, tater chip. It was a good time.
I like it.
So I'm just having some Woodford Reserve, enjoying myself.
With Woodford, I'm just going to say this. I was talking about this with Michelle not earlier today, this past week or a week ago. But one of the things I said to her about that, the consistency of Woodford's is so good. Like, if you can get small batch anything, and it can be bottle to bottle, kind of like what you were talking about with the Four Roses. It may not be what you predict, but the thing is with Woodford, unless you get into the master blends and stuff like that, it's consistently across the board. You can be in Kansas, you can be in Tennessee or freaking Florida, and it is consistently the same.
You pick up a bottle of double oak, it doesn't matter where you get it from.
Exactly.
It is the same every time.
That double.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Double. I've heard of it, but
I have it. I have it here. You have to come over and have some. But I got that from the distillery. Oh my God, it's worth all.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, all $211 is absolutely worth it.
Okay.
But it takes me back to the whoo.
And the other thing that I like about this pour is you could take it anywhere, and you can have anybody start down their journey of pours and different drinks, and you'll never go wrong. Like it's not gonna hurt anybody unless you kill the whole bottle by yourself. It's gonna be a bottle that's easy to drink. It's easy to it's easy to enjoy it.
Woodford
it's not gonna light you up or nothing like that.
It was like one of the first or second like straight whiskeys I ever tried, and it was actually because I was house sitting for someone. They're like, "We don't even like this shit. You can go ahead and drink as much as you want."
And Trash Panda was like, "Trash Pandas unite."
Was like, "Trash Pandas say what?"
Unite.
And I tried it. I was like, "They said I could have this," and my boy are hurting on that. But also, by the way, Chuck is drinking the Old Carter American Batch 5 tonight. He posted that a little bit earlier. Wanted to acknowledge that. Very nice.
Old Carter is
he loves it. He loves Old Carter. He is a fanboy.
I am a big fanboy of that as well. I only have one bottle, and it is fantastic. I hope to get another bottle sometime soon. I did pick up another bottle of antique. So I'm excited about that. I've gotten some good whiskeys recently. So, I mean, I spent a lot of money over the last, and then of course, last night I lost $7,000 and I lost it in the markets, but it's rebounding. It's rebounding right now. I was for the year in crypto, just crypto alone. I was plus 23 or 25,000, we'll say, and some change.
Jen's drinking a Dr.
She must be at work.
Yeah,
she might be at work. You don't have to tell us what else is in the Dr. Pepper. That's fine.
And the last thing about the Woodford that I really enjoy about it, and I'm sure Rob would agree with me on this, it pairs with a lot of foods. Yeah. Whether you're having like if you're doing something with steak, certain seafoods, it pairs with a lot of good meals, and it's affordable. Yeah, it's never going to be out of range. It's never going to be not available. It's I don't know if there's any really cons about it. It's in every hotel in America, basically.
No, Maker's Mark's in every hotel in America, even the shitty ones.
Yeah,
you may get bed bugs, but you're going to get some Maker's Mark.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what I'm having tonight. Yeah, that's it.
Good choice. Solid choice.
But the Woodford, like, somebody who's wanting to explore into bourbon, the bourbon world, that is the intro bourbon to.
It's, in my opinion, it's the first real bourbon because most people try Basil Hayden first, and Basil Hayden's not bad. I don't make it sound like
it's okay. It fits its market.
But they're all 80 proof. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, so is Woodford. But once you start getting into the Woodford and you start getting into the they have different lines, whether it's so like some of the things I didn't know they had until this 2 weeks ago when I was up, or not 2 weeks, 2 weekends ago, coming this Saturday. I didn't know they had toasted. I'll be honest with you, toasted not very good. They had sherry cask, also not very good in my opinion.
Basil toasted?
No. This is Woodford.
Woodford has a toasted. My bad. Yeah. I was like, I knew about the basil toasted,
but basil toasted is fine, but it's because consistently very much like everything else that they sell.
Yeah.
The whole idea of getting a honey cast or a sherry cast or something like that is the uniqueness that's in it. Are you going to get the bright notes of the sherry? You can get some of that upfront pop
like
of
that pop. Yeah, I was about to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's a honey cast, you can get that upfront. You know, or actually, my favorite thing about a honey cast is the finish, because honey is thick and sometimes it'll coat that throat. You know.
Yeah.
Chuck is a little bit of a critic since Woodford Double Oak is just overpriced for what it is. $245 is way over the top. I found it from $179, but even that's pushing it. I probably would end up. It sounds like one of those bottles, like, man, this is so damn good. Man, I would never spend that much money on it. Like, it's probably in that crease for me. Which
and let me ask you guys, for that double, is that that too? Is it a 750 ml bottle?
It's
a 700.
I think it's 750. I have it.
It's 700.
It doesn't matter. It's a master blend. So whatever they put the master blends in for the double, that's what it is. I mean, we can look it up real quick. I can look it up. You guys are talking about.
But Chuck, I respect that opinion.
So here's my question for the group,
and
we're not gonna get into the whole political arena, of course, but with the
we've been at 36 minutes, by the way. If
I know,
if you
right?
pop this off, it's on you.
Yeah.
No, but
it's like a fucking record for us, by the way.
We're gonna roll through the intersection.
All
so
right.
with the threat of tariffs, do we see a lot of? There we go.
Jody, it's a 700.
Okay, I just looked.
I got a master. I got one of the masters here.
Yep, you're right.
Cool.
Yeah, I have it. I have one of them too, but I couldn't get to it.
Back here.
For sure. Yeah. So your question, Billy.
Yeah.
With the threat of tariffs, do we see a lot of stuff that we get, like the vodkas and the rums, and well, maybe not so much the rums, but the vodkas and the tequilas? Do we think those items are going to go up significantly enough to turn people away from them to get into some more of the bourbons and the whiskeys?
Speaking from a professional in the field that teaches this, if we're talking about just spirits, we are not going to be affected at all. And the reason why I say that is because all the best stuff in the world is made here in the United States. Like when I've seen Justin Trudeau freaking
he's saying all that stuff. It's like,
he's like,
keep it focused on the prices. Let's keep it focused on the prices.
Well, let me finish. He was like, we're going to put a tariff on all this, and then we're going to remove them from our shelves. I'm like, so you're punishing the freaking Canadians? They can't get good whiskey anymore because of you? That's fucking stupid.
They got Found North and
I got my feelings.
Well, don't get me wrong. They have some good stuff. Like
no, Found North is good.
That's what I'm saying. They said they have Found North and then I kind of trailed.
No, 40 Creek is good. 40 Creek is decent. Then you also have Pine Creek, which is one of my favorites, and it really is. It's hard to find. It's allocated, but I wouldn't even call it allocated. You just got to. They're not a big brand shipper,
right?
Yeah, distributor. So. But if they had that here, if I could find it again, I would buy it. The last time I had some Pine Creek, it came from when I was stationed. I think I was in Memphis at the time at Millington, and I went to this place called the Crazy Canucks, and which is it's a chain restaurant, but it's a chain restaurant for Canadians. And they had some Pine Creek there, and I asked the owner where he got it, and he goes, "Well, if you give me $100, I'll give you a bottle right now." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, I don't give a shit." And so I gave him $100. It's probably only $49 at most, but that's what it was. But it was worth it. I had it. It was so good. Probably my favorite Canadian whiskey. By the way, Crown Royal is not Canadian. I know everybody wants to think it is. It's from Vermont. All right.
Yeah.
It was.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's born and bred.
It is so blended.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
What they do is.
So
what happens is they go from the distillery in Vermont. We'll make sure we point this out. Vermont.
They ship it over.
They ship it over to Canada, and then they put the sticker on it that says it's Canadian, and then they ship it right back to the United States. That's all they do.
Well, that's like the worst kind of puffery. Like it's really just from here.
Well, because also there was the threat of, oh, we'll just stop buying Florida oranges, and I'm like, no, you won't.
Have at it.
Okay. because that's the thing that people have been talking about a little bit lately with the threat of tariffs and things like that. So okay, I mean, because I do feel like we have the best stuff here, so I didn't think it would affect us too much either. And also, no matter what's going on in the world, whether things are good, bad, ugly, whatever, we're gonna drink regardless.
That's true.
So
well, that's not true. I'm not gonna drink shit. So like if this was reversed, let's say we were in Canada and I could no longer get, whatever Kentucky whiskey I wanted, I'd be like, fuck, I guess I'm gonna have a dry however long this lasts, right?
Right.
Because Trudeau's punishing me. That's the way I would look at it. But and that's kind of, to be honest with you, it's more than 60% of the Canadian population thinks that too. But that's beside the point. Moving on, still talking about finance stuff, moving on, one of the big things that was brought up that I didn't know about, which they're still not advertising it yet, but Chuck had brought up in the VIP chat, and if you're not a member of the VIP chat, you should be. Reach out to anybody that's not me or David, and we'll get you in there. But the thing that with that Eagle Rare 12-year, which is going to be awesome, I noticed when I was at Buffalo Trace a weekend ago. All right. And when I was in there, they had like these walls and walls, like literally, of Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare. And they had reps out there pushing Eagle Rare. And I was like, I wonder why they're doing that. It seems really odd to me.
Think to get rid of all the 10 to get the 12 in.
No, what it is they're trying to oversaturate the market to bring the price of the 12 higher is what they're doing. But so I went there and I looked at their prospectus. All right. So for those who don't know finance, prospectus is a requirement by the SEC for people to invest in. You have to be able to read if there's any litigation going on, any R&D, what the normal return is on stocks and stuff like that. So
it's like a profile, right?
It's a profile of the potential stock. And I noticed that over quarter 3 and 4, they increased their R&D. And I was like, I wonder what they're doing. Ooh. So, and I just realized this, and I was like, so I reached out to Nicole, my financial intermediary, and I was like, I need you to up my investments to Buffalo Trace. And she's like, why? I'm like, and so I sent her a copy of the prospectus. She goes, wow, you're right. They're doing something. I'm like, they are doing something. And then Chuck posted that today, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I want.
Okay.
Yeah, that 12 looked like it's going to be something. It's going to be the new to have bottle in this world. Yeah, I mean, I think people are going to still want the 10. There you go,
Daniel.
I don't think the 10 is going to lose any steam, but the 10 is already out there. But I think the 12 is going to be like, I don't know.
Everybody's going to be after the 12.
If I get
the normal person knows he is not going to touch the 17.
Right. True.
Well, no, I came across one.
You're not a normal person, Jody.
What's that?
You're not a normal person. He said the normal person knows.
But there was no way I was even going to tell.
Well, so I went to.
But a normal person that's going to be out there looking is not going to be able to afford the 17.
Okay, I mean, I'm with you. I agree with you.
It might be at that buy point for a lot of people where they can make max profits for aging the 10 2 more years.
Yeah. I agree with all that. I just wanted to give that shout out to Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. He said, hey, everyone, happy Monday. Thank you for joining us, sir. Really appreciate you coming in and commenting. Always appreciate the comments. But yeah, to your point, I was going to say, I think if I could wish on a star with this, is that the 12 becomes the thing that's so sought after. It makes the 10 a little bit easier to find and a little less ridiculous.
And by the way, we're on record already when we did blind tasting stuff. The 10, we did a whole bunch of 10s. Remember, we did a whole thing of 10s that were blind is what we did here. You were here for that. We did here at my house, and we did a show on it. And out of any 10-year that's out there, my favorite finish that's out there is the Eagle Rare 10.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of a 10-year.
Yeah, for sure. Specifically.
And if it wasn't allocated, it'd be the best bourbon that's on the market.
Mm-hmm. But I think what they're going to do is, like I said, they're going to price it in the more affordable range versus the 17.
Yeah.
And I don't think the 10 is going to become that much more available. I think what you're going to see is that 10 is going to sit and age 2 more years in the barrel and become the 12. It's going to be just as rare. That 10 is going to stay just as rare as it is right now because they're still making money off of it whenever they put it out.
But I'm pessimistic.
And then they add that 2 extra years to it, drop another 25, 30, $40 on it.
I think the initial buy-in is probably what Chuck said. It's going to be somewhere north of 100, probably around 120 for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Chuck, he said here, I just want to read his comment. Sorry. We're going to get oversaturated with limited edition and age-stated products this year, and in the future, finished products are going to spike as well. Yeah, that seems like what really holds the attention of the market is all the, well, I can get that shit anywhere. Not so much that, but like, ooh, the special thing.
Yeah, I do. I like age statements on my products too. I had to hunt for the age statement for the single barrel, and it was ambiguous. It aged 7 to 9 years.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell you much. I like it when it's on the label.
Yeah.
It tells me straight up front. Chuck also put in the VIP, and like Jody said earlier, if you're not in the VIP, man, you got to get in the VIP. But the age statement's coming out for like Wild Turkey. They're going to have a Wild Turkey 8-year. That's going to be a staple product on the shelf, and it's going to say.
I tell you, Russell's done good this year, man.
I know.
They came out.
They put it right on the label, and that's why it sells.
That 15 that time. So I sent you guys in the VIP chat, and if you're not a member of the VIP chat, you should be. But I sent you guys that picture of that bottle of 15-year that I was at what's it called? Prime and Pint here in Columbia. And I was sitting there and they had a bottle and I was like, I want some of that. And she goes, I don't remember how much she told me the barmaid. I didn't. I need to make this less than humble. I don't really look at price tags, to be honest with you. I just buy what I want. And so I was like, pour me one. And so anyway,
Jen, if you behave yourself, you can come back. I promise. Like I actually asked, can we bring her back? We're not going to do politics in here, right?
Jen, Jen, you need to be back in the VIP. Get your butt back.
I think it was just like an emotional day for a lot of people. So yeah, Jen, you're welcome back. You are welcome back. And God, that we need it. Something to break up the sausage party in there. Anyway, so tell me if I'm lying.
Sorry, Jen, I didn't mean to scare you off.
Jen, we need you back, babe.
Someone play the song.
Between her and Chuck, they were the two people that posted the most for sure.
Yeah.
In there, Chuck puts a lot of really relevant stuff. He
does.
It's the reason why when I posted the picture of the HK Young, I was like, does anybody know this? And it took him a while to find some stuff, and he was like, it's supposed to be sourced from Bardstown. It's super rare. And I'll be honest with you, it is freaking on point. I'm drinking that right now, and with ice. I will be honest with you, I like it a little bit better opened up with ice. It kind of mutes the both the internal, or the first, I should say, the initial burn, and then it mutes the aftertaste of burn as well. Because that is a hot 114. Mm-hmm. I am not gonna lie to you. That's one of the hottest 114s I've ever had in my life. You guys watched me drink it. I was like, whew.
Yeah.
I was like,
hey. I agree with you on the ice tonight. The ice was needed for the Four Roses. For me, it opened it up far beyond what I was initially tasting on it. I was very disappointed with it until I had it over a little bit of ice.
Here you go, Rob. We haven't seen you in a little bit. So what bottles you been drinking on, brother?
What you been doing, man?
Last couple of weeks.
I've been working so much, Billy. I mean, I finished off my a 13th Colony Sour Mash that I had bought. I'm trying not to buy bottles when I'm out, but I've been in Ohio for the last 3 weeks. I got another.
If I'm in Ohio, I'm buying up everything I can find.
4 days there, which Jody, send me that Horse Soldier you can't find. They just released there's 4 or 5 releases in Ohio.
There's several. So the best one, I mean, there's a lot of them. And the only reason why I like the one, I will send it to you. First of all, I'll put that. I'll send that to you in the VIP chat. The reason why I like that, and the reason why I kept that bottle, is because I'm trying to find it. But it's more reminiscing, if that makes sense, like that visual. that visual note that you get that puts you back in that place when you were a kid and you remember. That's like when he was talking about the mechanical oil, like there's a unique smell a lawnmower oil has, or a unique smell a car oil has, and stuff like that. And my grandfather,
two-stroke engine, man, it's got a unique kind of.
Yep. And my grandfather was a mechanic, and so I never knew he had a drinking problem, and I should have, because he always hid it in the barn, and he would always say, "Hey, don't tell your granny about this." I'm like,
yeah,
I'm working on drugs with Pappy. We're gonna have a great time. Yeah. So, I should have paid more attention when we went hunting. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sit under this tree. Don't tell your granny about this, and you just go kill something." I'm like, "Okay, I'm on
it." just don't shoot back this way.
I come back and he's like, "Hey, so you want to drive today?" I'm like, "I'm 12."
That's all good.
That's hilarious. Jen wants to know about what Billy's been up to.
Yeah, Jen, back in the VIP.
What are you working on, Billy?
What am I not? Well, so the butcher shop is coming along nicely. The floor gets completed tomorrow. The cooler's already in. All the electronics, the fan, the cooling system's already in. The sink and everything is going in next week after I get. So here's the thing about Florida when you're opening a butcher shop. Even though I'm considered a private butcher, I still have to get FDA approved. I don't have to make one where, like, just for instance, say like Tyson's or Smith's, and their facilities, they actually have to provide an office for FDA, that an inspector's there all the time. So as a private,
their size,
as a private butcher, I don't have to do that, of course. But every little move you make, from the paint you put on the walls, when you get the floors done, they literally come in once the floors are all done.
I feel like you're using literally wrong.
Probably, but no. They plug the floor drains. They plug the floor drains. They flood the floor and make sure it drains properly. The pitch is right. When you put in your sink, they test how long it takes your water to get hot. I mean, everything. Like, they'll open the door on your cooler and close it back and see how long it takes for it to recover. It is a big process. So a lot of red tape. But other than that, I'm making more sauce than I can even think about. I don't want to. It's not monotonous because I love what I do. But it's like now, all right, on this date I make the cold stuff. On this date I make hot sauce. On this date I make, sweet and tangy. And it's just every day there's something else. At this point, I'm having my purveyor house my briskets, house my pork butts, because they literally got tired of me sending stuff back. So anything that's in the warehouse has my name on it. They won't give it out to anybody else, which is a good thing because it saves me a lot of trouble. But you have to pay to play, so to speak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to ask them to do such a thing like that, I have to commit to buying a certain amount. You don't have to buy it all at once, but if they say, well, you need to buy just a number, you need to buy 10,000 briskets this year, you have to commit to it. So it could be overwhelming. The Super Bowl, my reservations were sold out before we figured out who was in the Super Bowl. So that's the biggest thing. But other than that, more than anything, I'm just happy that business is doing business, and like I said, finally starting to see the light. So people don't realize it, but there's a very ugly side to barbecue. Everybody loves to eat it, and it looks good on Instagram and whatnot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Myron Mixon.
Listen, nobody tells you what it's like to climb into a 500-gallon pit and you got to clean it out.
No.
Or how much lumber you go through.
So Billy, are you refrigerating your cutting room too?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So it's going to be interesting.
So you're refrigerating your cutting room? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yep.
So in a butcher shop, it has to be, and you have to keep it at a certain temperature. So let's say, because I'm not doing beef in a box. Literally, I will have whole sides of beef, whole sides of, well, not whole sides, but I'll have whole hogs. Chicken will come in by the pallet, stuff like that. So yes, the cutting room has to be completely cold. I mean,
all right. So real quick, I want to tell you a funny story about hogs. So you guys have all heard the story about me in the hogs, right? Killing that pig, wild pig, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this weekend, I went to one of my previous commanding officers, Hill. Her father passed away on the 29th of January. And so they're having a celebration of life and that, whatever. What'd you send me, David?
I just sent you some. Don't worry about it. Nothing weird. Nothing weird.
All right.
Just context for.
But anyway, so the spiritual leader was like, he came up and he was talking to me. He's like, so, he looked at me. He's like, so you look like you're kind of a hunter or something. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. He goes, have you killed any wild pigs or anything like that? I'm like, I haven't. and he's like, so tell me the story. I'm like, I'm not. We're in a place of God and stuff, and I love God. I'm a big fan. But I don't know if this is the most appropriate place because it can't be that bad. I finished the story, telling him about what happened, and he was like, I think maybe you were right. This is not a story for God.
Right.
I'm like, God was there, but I was worried about losing my towel and getting molested by a pig all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very near thing. But yeah.
And one last thing, one rumor I want to kill, just for whoever's out there listening. When you pick up a piece of meat and you see that stamp on it, it is not ink. I don't know why somebody thinks that.
No.
It's actually blueberry. The FDA would not allow you to put ink on a.
I am glad you said that. I don't think that's a stupid question. I really don't.
No.
I've heard
a lot of people think that's ink.
No, I thought it was.
Right.
I'm one of those people that thought it was. I really did. I thought it was ink until I one day just Googled it. I'm like,
what is it?
It's blueberry. They use blueberry writing to make the USDA stamp or whatever it might be. That's how they.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that is wild.
Yeah, I didn't know it either, and I looked it up. So I don't think that's a stupid question. I really don't.
That's a great question.
Well, a stupid question, but I
want to read this real quick because Jen's comments, and I want to come back to it. I like when people participate. I want to reward them. So Jen said her boss will be in your neck of the woods, Billy, for the Super Bowl. Send her and her family your way. Definitely going to tell her about your place. Maybe they can drop in. It's just like my supervisor did earlier.
Sure.
So yeah, so hopefully you got some more people coming your way. That'd be awesome. And then she said she's going to be close to Jody and myself towards the end of March. All right, that's what's up. Okay,
end of March, I'll be down in Florida at the condo.
Okay then.
Oof. And I'll be up there at his condo.
You can come, Gino. I would love for you to come.
But Jody, I got to be Big Spoon.
Tell me when, brother.
I'm sorry.
I'm at loose strings.
Up until that Saturday.
Yeah, I'll come too, and I'll just sleep on the fucking beach.
Like a bear and a cub together. I'm totally down with it. And on Saturday at about lunchtime, you're going to have to go sleep in your own room.
So, no, but other than that, that's been going on with business, though. So yeah, everything's good. Just tagging along. Again, people have no idea the ugly side of barbecue and how much work really goes into it. I keep the most ridiculous hours. I mean,
actually, real quick, I want to say something on that because I've been meaning to get with you. I've been teaching entrepreneurship for 3 years now.
Okay,
and I want to have you on the show. Not on the show. Sorry, wrong thing. I want to have you zoom into one of my classes sometime.
Absolutely.
And kind of explain, because like this is all undergraduate students. They don't understand. Like I keep telling them, entrepreneurship, just because you want to go and work for yourself or do this and you want to have your own hours and this, that, whenever, I'm like, that's all bullshit. Like I tell them, I like, look, in this class, you guys are not in high school anymore. We say cuss words, but I'm gonna speak it to you like it is, and here it is. And it's one of the things I bring up, and my class always gives me great reviews because they love that. Because I had Buddy on there once before about being an entrepreneur,
cool.
and so I've been thinking about asking you. Just let me know. Monday and Wednesdays are my class times. 11 Central time, so that'd be your Eastern. So that'd be 12. That'd be noon for you. But I want to do that soon. Have you on there?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, let me know. Absolutely, it'll be my pleasure. But yeah, the thing about barbecue, don't get me wrong. To me, it's not even a job. It's my career. It's my passion. But there's definitely an ugly side to all of it because the hours are stupid. Dealing with purveyors is crazy. And depending on what part of the industry you go into, you have to have the proper skill set for it. People think, oh man, you can butcher a whole cow. It is not an easy task. It's not for the weak. You can't be squeamish about anything, especially when you're talking about from beginning to end.
It's not that kind of shit is not for everybody at all. Like, I don't even know if it's for me, to be honest. I've never seen anything like that, but I've encountered certain things, professionally speaking, and be like, not everyone can do this. Like,
no,
that sounds like one of those things. I don't know. I truthfully don't know if I could do it myself.
And even what I don't think people understand, especially with the hospitality industry, like what Rob does. Listen, his job is ridiculously hard because when you're on that corporate level, somebody's always watching, watching.
Yeah.
And
several
if they're one goddamn Cheerio short, somebody's going to talk shit, and they expect you.
One Cheerio short.
Rob's not serving Cheerios.
Of course.
I like Cheerios.
Listen, I love Cheerios, but
speaking of which, I love Honey Nut Cheerios. God, they're so good.
It's something where
if I could have $1 for every time somebody says that to me, whether it's a student, significant other, or you guys.
Squirrel.
It's all good.
Oh.
But by the way, Jen said, I guess she's talking about March 23rd through 25th. I'm just the comments. I'm gonna read them.
It's all good.
She's gonna be in Loretto Memorial for VFW for her cousin who passed away at Christmas. Very sorry about the loss of your cousin.
Speaking of comments, we missed the one guy who's got the podcast. What the hell was?
His name's David.
No, there's a little old fashioned.
No, not Dave Barry.
Little old fashioned's not here, but Daniel Barry was here.
The little old fashioned. Okay,
little old fashioned was not here tonight, unfortunately. But that's cool. That's cool.
So,
but anyway, go ahead, Bill.
One last thing, so on a Saturday for barbecue, I might serve 100, 120, 130 people. Rob's got an entire campus of people to deal with, and Rob, I love you, brother. But I don't want that shit. I don't want no smoke with you, brother.
It ain't hard, man.
Yeah, since the guy who's been doing it for God knows how long.
It ain't hard. It's only 4
Did that guy work if you ever learned how to separate tater tots on a pan?
Yes, they are all at attention every time.
He does come back and work for me every summer still.
Say? But did he learn?
Yes, he learned.
See, that's what you take the person who wants it, right? Or maybe he's not really the guy, but like someone who's trying, and maybe they're not any good at it, but if they don't piss and moan and they're trying, you find that person, you work with them.
So
he's a good kid.
And it's hard enough to find as it is. Someone who shows up and is ready to work and wants to do the job.
It's like Billy was saying.
And doesn't complain all day.
Find the people who want to.
Yeah.
Anyway. I think it's what I find, especially with the younger crowd, if it's anything labor intensive,
there's no want to.
They're not really with it. They want to kind of, how many people like, hey, I could run your social medias. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't need that.
Yeah,
no.
You get somebody like the BBC. And he's been running ours for like the last 2 years, and not a God blessed post has been made.
He's in Bangkok.
It's commensurate with what we pay him.
I've been to Bangkok. I know what he's doing in Bangkok.
No.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's time to move to the after show.
There we go.
I'm just saying that's the most appropriately named city in the world. I've been there a lot of times. And if you can think it, it can happen there.
We're heading rapidly to
guys,
not safe for work.
It's been real.
Hey,
yes.
I want all you guys have a wonderful, safe night. I do apologize.
It's a great week, everybody.
But hey, if you're not a fan, please be a fan. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Hit the little notification bell.
Smash that stuff. Make it happen.
Yeah, smash.
And then if you want to be in the VIP chat, which is this dumb fuckery all the time.
There it is.
And it is, but it's also some educational stuff too. Like Chuck turns us around to like we're all talking nonsense, and all of a sudden Chuck's like, "Hey, there's got this, and it's got these notes."
Yeah. He dropped this whole big one. I was in the middle. I didn't get to read it. I was like, "Damn, that's
that's
pretty good." Yep,
impressive shit. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it out here.
Love you all.
Much love, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Yourselves.
That's it.
Cheers, all. Be good to yourselves.
Cheers, guys.